this universe is quite complex for human beings to understand fully. And we should rely upon and depend upon word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has come to us. And whatever is contained in that, try to understand it and act upon whatever we can understand. And the things that are beyond our understanding, accept them as they are stated until we have the ability in future, hopefully, to know better and be able to decipher what has been contained in the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, in the very first chapter of our Quran, and in the very beginning of Al-Quran, as a matter of fact, we are told that this book is a guidance for those who believe in the unseen, in the world of unseen. And to be able to accept that first and then move forward and try to understand the message that is contained in there is the safest way to go through life. There is a hadith of our beloved Prophet which basically says, Man samata naja. Whosoever spoke less or stayed quiet was the one who got success, who succeeded in life. Less you speak, the better, especially of those things that you may not be sure about, and they are out there, and you may start to label them as bad or haram or wrong, but they actually may be totally different than what you perceive. So if you have something nice to say about somebody or someone, you can go ahead and say it. But if there is something negative that you feel about something, it's better to stay quiet rather than say that. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us one tongue and 2 ears, which means we should hear more and speak less. And especially speaking about things that may be beyond our understanding. I'll give you an example. There are stories of our beloved prophets in the Quran in which certain things they do appear to us in today's law and order situation that they are incorrect or wrong, or they really are definitely cruelty to somebody or something. And yet, later on we realize that that is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has intended it to be. And we do not understand the broader picture out there, and we look at one particular scenario and we try to draw conclusions. Example, of course, is that of Khidr alayhi salam when he actually killed an innocent boy for no reason at all. Similarly, he destroys or damages a boat of another one. A person who ordinarily will look at it would consider that to be something improper. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had a better plan. Similarly, when Musa alayhi salam, actually accidentally or unintentionally was able to hit somebody and the person died, a young Jewish man, and Musa alayhi salam had to then leave that area and go away, otherwise they would catch him and probably punish him. So at that time it seems to us that, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that he's a prophet and he has a lot to do afterwards. But at that particular time, this particular incident could have appeared totally different to people and may have drawn different conclusions. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, but basically the point to remember is that realize that our knowledge is limited. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a limitless knowledge. And whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in His divine message in Al-Quran, we should try to understand it, and those things that are beyond our understanding, accept them as they are, and then hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open our eyes to it later and we will understand it better. I actually came upon a verse from Allama Iqbal, who is a Sufi poet of South Asian subcontinent that lived about 100 years ago or so. And he basically has expanded on this particular subject in many verses. But these two lines that I want to quote, I'll translate them for you. And then I'll make you ponder and think about this. He says, "Tu hai Shaykh Haram shayad nadani, jahane ishq ra hum maishere hast, गुनाओ नामाओ मीज़ान न दारद, नऊरा मुस्लमे न काफरे हस्त." He says, "Tu hai Shaykh Haram, O Shaykh Haram, O leader of the Muslims, O Imam, or O a clergy person. Shayad nadani, probably you don't know. Tu hai Shaykh Haram, O you clergy, O you religious leader, probably you do not know or you do not realize. Jahane ishq ra hum maishere hast, in the world of love or passion or ishq, of love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maishere hast, that has a day of judgment of its own. People who are in this life, that are now in mustaghraq, in ishq, they are so passionate about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they are now like doing whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks them to do in this world in different phases, different forms. They have a different kind of day of judgment. And then he explains in the second line, Gunao namao mizan nadarad. That particular day of judgment and question and answer session, there is no such element as guna or wrongdoing, or nama or our book of deeds, or mizan or judgment of good or bad. It doesn't look at your book of deeds. It doesn't really look at any sins you may have committed or any good deeds you have committed. And then he says, Naura Muslime na kafre hast. And in that particular arena, in that particular time, in that particular day of judgment, there is no such thing as a believer or non-believer. Because now you are in a position where all of this is immaterial. You have really gone through the travel of love. You have really gotten so close to that one deity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. And you are now in a position whereby all of that you went through is immaterial. Now here is something that I ponder about in this particular verse, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made some of us born in a Muslim family, others in a Jewish family, others in a Christian family. All of us are children of Adam. All of us have a spirit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in us. Our souls were created together. Of course, there are exceptions that we can talk about later. But most souls were created at a particular time, and they all were introduced to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them, am I not your Lord? Am I not your God? And they all said yes. Which means we have that inherent understanding and recognition of a divine being that is out there, and it comes naturally to us if we pay attention to our inside. So, if you go by that, then why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put some people to be so unbelievers or disbelievers that they really are giving challenges to believers? Many intellectuals that you hear give arguments against Islam, against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's many of attributes, and many of them believe that after they die from here, that will be the end of life. And these are educated intellectual people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala somehow or the other has created them probably as a challenge for all of us. He wants to see how we confront them, how we treat them, and how we are actually able to interact with them. And at the end, probably He'll forgive all of us. If He will forgive those also. He may tell them, yeah, I put you as a non-believer, but you did a good job. So who knows? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the power, and He loves all His creation. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best why and with what wisdom He created this universe the way He did. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding and comprehension so that we stay within our reasonable belief system and do not go astray to the point where we lose the message, the essence of the message, and we lose our connection to the divine. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.